Well, hello everybody. I would like to introduce this first performance of the week. This is our third week of festival, and I would like to introduce an amazing artist I have met long time ago when I was studying in Argentina. So it's one of my good friends and good artist I met during that time of my life. She is Luna Acosta Tobón. She was already part of this festival last year in the physical edition of Cyber Bodies, and this time she is part of the lineup as online presentation. And she is not working alone this time, and she has a very interesting project she would let you know. And her friend Lisette Nin, she's from Dominican Republic. She is living in Barcelona. Lisette will help her with the translation of her performance. But she will also have the help from other people in other places around the world, most of them from Colombia. So we will have Sara Bermudez from Colombia, and she is transmitting right now from Bangkok. We also have Marcela Acosta from Colombia, and she's in Chandigarh. We have from Colombia and transmitting from Colombia, from Medellin, Natalia Garzón. And we have Beatriz Cruz from Brazil, transmitting from Sao Paulo. I would like to give a big welcome to them. And thank you so much. So I will give you the lead right now. One thing I would like you to know before we start is for the beginning of the performance, we will have the microphones open of these people who I just said, Lisette, Sara, Natalia, Marcela, and Beatriz, and of course Luna. They will be making a short presentation about what we're gonna do, and right after they describe the things they're gonna do, we can, all of us, open our microphones. And that's all the information I have for today's performance. Thank you so much for assisting, for inviting your friends, and let's give a welcome to Luna Acosta. Thank you so much.
Yo les voy a contar una historia sobre el mango. Y después mis amigas van a contarles otras historias sobre otros mangos.
I'm going to tell a story about mangoes, and then my friends are going to tell a story about other kinds of mangoes.
Después, todas ustedes pueden contar, si quieren, sus historias sobre otros mangos, y si no, vamos a seguir haciendo un pequeño recorrido.
If you want later, you can tell stories about other mangoes, your mangoes. And then after that, we're going to have a little bit of a cruise or path.
Cuando estaba chiquita, mi papá me ponía en sus hombros y me llevaba a coger mangos desde los palos de la universidad donde él trabajaba. Antes de entrar al salón, los cortábamos en pedacitos y me conseguía un limón. Mientras él daba clase, yo me sentaba debajo del piano de la sala a comérmelos y después me iba de allí con la boca toda arrugada. El sabor a mango verde con sal y limón me lleva a mi infancia en las salas de música de la Universidad de Antioquia y a mi papá tocando fagot.
When I was a kid, my father would put me on his shoulder and take me to pick up mangoes from the trees of the university where he worked before entering class. We would cut them into pieces and he would give me a lemon. While he was teaching, I would sit under the piano in the classroom to eat them until my mouth would get all wrinkled. The flavor of green mango with salt and lemon takes me back to my childhood in the music halls of the University of Antioquia and to my dad playing the bassoon.
Mi infancia transcurrió entre ese mango verde y las 37 especies de mango que caían de los árboles en una isla en el Caribe colombiano, donde pasaba gran parte del año. Me comía los que se caían del piso y comiendo aprendí a identificarlos con mi mamá. El mango maduro me lleva al Caribe, con los dientes peludos y los calzones llenos de arena.
My childhood passed between that mango and the other 37 species that fell from the trees on the island of the Colombian Caribbean, where I spent most of the year. I ate the ones that fell on the ground, and while eating, my mother would teach me to tell them apart. A ripe mango takes me back to the Caribbean with hairy teeth and my pants full of sand.
El mango es aparentemente originario del nordeste de la India. La distribución de su cultivo se extendió por el sudeste asiático y más tarde al archipiélago malayo. Los portugueses lo llevaron primero al continente africano y posteriormente a las costas de Brasil. De ahí se distribuye al resto de América en los siglos XV y XVI. Entonces el camino del mango es también un camino colonial.
Today, the mango is apparently native from the northwestern India. Its distribution spread throughout the Southeast Asia and later to the Malay archipelago. The Portuguese took it first to the African continent and later to the coast of Brazil. And from there, it was distributed to the rest of America in the 15th and 16th century. The path of the mango is not only a path of the redistribution, but also a path to colonialism.
Hoy día, los principales países productores incluyen la India, Pakistán, Indonesia, México, Brasil, las Filipinas, Perú y Costa Rica. España, donde nosotras estamos, prefiere a Brasil y a Perú porque entre ambos países le surten mangos todo el año.
Today, the main producing countries include India, Pakistan, Indonesia, Mexico, Brazil, Philippines, Peru, and Costa Rica. Spain prefers Brazil and Peru because both countries supply them with mangoes throughout the year.
Cuando una se va del territorio, se reinventa como puede para ser comprendida y comprender el sitio al que llega. Entre otras cosas, aprende de nuevo a comer. Fuera del trópico no se cultiva mango.
When one leaves its territory, we reinvent ourselves as we can to be understood and to understand the place where we arrive. And among other things, one learns to eat again. Mango is not grown outside of the tropics.
Cuando llegué a España, en mi trabajo sin papeles, durante un año le partí un mango maduro al hombre al que cuidaba. En España se consume per cápita 0.58 kilos de mango por año.
When I arrived in Spain, I worked without papers for a year. Every day in my job, I had to split a ripe mango to feed the man I was caring for. In Spain, 0.58 kilos of mango are consumed per capita per year.
Existe un servicio directo a Europa en el que 4 buques con capacidad de 1.800 TEU se traen frutas directamente desde Brasil hasta Europa entre diciembre y febrero. 1.800 TEU son 21.600 kilogramos.
There is a direct service to Europe in which 4 boats with containers with the capacity of 1,800 TEU extract fruit directly from Brazil between December and February. 1,800 TEU is 21,600 consumed per capita per year.
¿Cuántos árboles se necesitan para producir 21.600 kilogramos de mango?
How many trees does it take to grow 21,600 kilograms of mangoes?
¿Cuántas personas llegamos del trópico al norte global cada año? ¿Por qué? ¿Qué pasa en el trópico?
How many people came from the tropics to the global north? Why? What happened in the tropics?
¿Cuántos árboles se talan para sembrar árboles de mango y poder cosechar mangos suficientes para poner en contenedores y repartir por el océano?
How many trees are they cut down to grow mango trees instead? And how many do we need to harvest enough mangoes to distribute throughout the ocean?
Para que un cultivo de mango tenga rendimiento, este debe tener en especial buena tolerancia a las plagas y tener un rápido crecimiento en el vivero para poder reiniciar rápidamente el cultivo.
For a mango cultivation to have a yield, it must be especially tolerant to pests and have a rapid growth in the nursery to be able to quickly restart the crop.
¿Cuántos litros de fertilizante hacen un cultivo con rendimiento óptimo para su comercio?
How many liters of fertilizer make a cultivation with optimal yield for business?
Dedicar el suelo a la producción de un solo vegetal o fruta provoca siempre impactos socioambientales. El suelo se agota, la biodiversidad decrece, se expulsan poblaciones rurales y se reduce la producción de alimentos locales.
Dedicating the land to the production of a single vegetable or fruit always causes social environmental impacts. The soil is depleted from biodiversity, decreases also the rural population, and everything's driven out. And the local food production is also reduced.
Estar lejos de casa y comerme un mango del trópico es un poco recordar mi infancia y su sabor a monte y a Caribe, y otro poco recordar la devastación que esa memoria implica.
Being away from home and eating a mango from the tropics is a bit of a thing. I remember my childhood. It also tastes like the mountains and the Caribbean. And also it makes me remember the devastation that this memory implies.
¿Cuántos mangos se necesitan para resolver los trámites burocráticos migratorios del humano del trópico en el norte global?
How many mangoes are a visa? How much death, how much exile, and how much fire fits in the taste of the memory of the tropics?
¿Cuántos mangos son un visado?
How many mangoes are a visa?
¿Cuánta muerte, cuánto destierro y cuánto fuego cabe en el sabor del recuerdo del trópico?
How much death and how much fire falls on the memory of the tropics?
Vía, tienes el micrófono apagado.
Oi.
Oi.
Olá.
Hola.
Ok,
contato.
Todo bien?
Todo bien.
Hi everybody. I'm going to speak in Portuguese English. I'm in São Paulo, Brazil. I put this map, but my computer don't support, and so the map appears like that. It's good because here is where I am, is in my mouth. Look.
You are the map.
Yeah, I'm the map now. And my mango comes from the city Juazeiro in north of Bahia, another state. I'm in São Paulo, in the south. And this mango here that I'm going to eat now came from Northeast, and it's in my eyes, Juazeiro, here. It's cultivated around a river here called Rio São Francisco. It's a very big river. And this river where the mango trees are around, he cuts two states of Brazil, Minas Gerais and Bahia. The whole state, it's very big. So, but here we have the mineration, and we have lots of catastrophes, ambiental catastrophes, and this river has been polluted, part of this river, by this this pollution that comes from the enterprises of mineration. So this mango I bought here in a public fair that is in my street. So I'm going to eat it. I have a curious relation with mango and with fruits. I started to do research about female sexuality, and I started to collect stories written by women who masturbate with fruits. So it's called here desfrutarse. I can, I don't know how to translate it. if someone can help me, okay. But call it here. So in this work, this women
maybe it's enjoy fruitation.
Enjoy fruitation, great. I love it. So here in Brazil, we have a word for female masturbation, and it's a different word. It's called siririca. And if you say in Portuguese from Portugal, there is no, this word doesn't exist. So they don't know, but probably it has or it's a indigenous word. It came from this, but nobody knows about the origin from Siririca, this word. And it's great. Once I said to a guy from Portugal about this word Siririca, and he said to me, there is no, this word doesn't exist here in Portugal. This is the why the women in Brazil are so hot. Yeah, he said it to me. But so I want to read a story from that a woman sent to me with a mango. It's short, okay? I'm going to read it. And if you have some fruits in your house, even it's not necessary.
Díaz, se cerró tu micrófono.
Okay. So I like the kind of fruit that smells, you know? I like the kind of fruit that smells very good. I smelled the mango really deep, and I realized that I should cut a piece. I did it. And then that's when we got along, me, her, and her piece, the piece of the mango. I cut a long, sweet, wet piece of the mango. I sucked on and on and on. I took that piece all over my body. I was falling apart. It was falling apart on the tongue, on the lips, on the neck, on my nipples, on the side of my belly, on my groin, on the lower lips. I hissed the clitoris, liquid. I felt the mango on the bottom, doing a great movement. I felt the fruit, her juice in my pussy. The taste, the smell, they are all confused. I cut 2 more pieces of mango, and I do the same thing with them. And all these pieces ended in my pussy. We are now 3 wet bodies all over. And I ate those pieces like I never ate a mango in my life. That's it.
Obrigada.
De nada.
Marce, ¿quieres seguir?
Marcia, do you want to go on? Go next.
Marcela,
sure.
mi prima.
Marcela is also my cousin.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Marcela. I'm from Colombia. I live in India, particularly in Chandigarh. This is a union territory in the north part of India. As Luna mentioned before, mangoes are originally from India. Unfortunately, mangoes no longer are available in the market because the season ended a couple of months ago. So I tried very hard looking for a mango for today, but I couldn't, so I brought an apple. So I don't really have a story to share, but I'll just tell you about apples. And let me just organize my ideas a little bit. So basically, it's very curious because yesterday there was a friend of ours, my husband and mine. He was here at home and he has a business with apples. So he has a field in the northern part of the country. There is another state called Himachal Pradesh, where you can get to the mountains and you have beautiful landscapes over there. So he has this huge farm of apples. And if I knew that I wouldn't be able to find mangoes for today's performance, so I would have definitely asked him to bring more apples from his place. Anyway, I got these apples from the local market. So they bring them from the place I told you before, Himachal Pradesh, and they're actually very, very affordable. Like you can buy a bunch of apples for a very cheap price. I'm not sure about the conversion of the money, like everyone is in very different places, but that's not the point, right? We have a virtual mango also. So the way I like to eat the apple is just, we'll just remove this thing first. I like to have a connection with the fruits, not necessarily the apple, it can be anything. So I don't use any sort of external tools. So I don't like to cut the fruits. I just like to bite them. The great thing about these apples is that they are extremely juicy and sweet. It's funny because I'm not very fond of red apple. I prefer the green ones more, but this is what was available. But I'm definitely enjoying it. Thank you all for being here with us. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Cuando Marce me dijo que no había mango porque no estaban en temporada.
When Marcia told me that there was no mangoes because they were out of season.
Me pareció maravilloso que se comiera una manzana porque creo que en los lugares donde hay estaciones solo deberíamos comer frutas de estaciones.
And when she told me she was going, I thought that it was wonderful that she only ate an apple because in places with their seasons, we should only eat fruit that is in season.
Yo soy del trópico, así que es algo que no nos pasa, pero en el resto del mundo sí pasa.
I am from the tropics. It's something that doesn't happen to us, but in the rest of the world that happens.
Sara,
¿quieres
seguir?
Do you want to go next?
Yes, for sure. So, hi everyone. My name is Sara. I live in Bangkok in Thailand, right here. So, when Luna told me about this performance, it was more like an invitation to talk about mangoes and to think about how that mango came to my table. So exactly the same situation that happened to Marcela happened to me. And Thailand is the third producer of mango in the world, supposedly. So it's like India, China, and then Thailand. In Thailand, they produce like more than 200 varieties of mangoes. But when I tried this morning to find mangoes, they were not mangoes available in the supermarket nearby. So I had to buy it at a food court in my office. And I don't speak Thai, like my Thai it's pretty limited. So you can always communicate to Thai people, but it's quite difficult when it goes to small details. So I go to this like store to try to find a mango, but like just a mango. Like I don't want a juice, I don't want anything. Just give me the mango. And she was like, "Why?" Like looking at me like, "Why is what you're asking me? This is nonsense." There's a dessert in Thailand which is called mango sticky rice, and it's basically mango with arroz con leche. I don't know how to say that in English. Arroz con leche. So in this place, they were selling mango sticky rice. So it was like, yeah. So rice pudding, right? So they were selling mango with like sticky rice, and I was like, no, just give me the mango. For her, that was like stupid and like, what are you trying to do? Let me just at least cut the mango and give you in a plastic like recipient. And it was like, okay, whatever, because they use a lot of mango, a lot of plastic in here. It's awful. So that's why my mango is already peeled and like cut it, and it's not like the fruit itself. So yeah, I was trying to define how that mango got to me, and I was reading that the supply chain in Thailand goes from the farmer to the middleman to the processing like factory to the exporter. And Japan is the second largest market of Thai agriculture. So the mangoes mostly go to Japan. Um, there was something interesting that I read, and is the direct to consumer model is a temporary arrangement. So due to COVID, the farmers were not able to sell to middlemen so easily as it used to be before. And also what happened is the middlemen started like changing the prices, and they were not buying that much. So when they are like in a normal period, they usually sold wholesale, and through expert businesses, they sell a mango, just one mango, from 60 to 90 baht. That means one mango cost, or they pay to the farmer, 1.64 euros to 2.46 euros. But when the export was limited due to COVID, the farmers were forced to sell the mango, one mango from 18 to 22 Thai baht, and that means 0.49 euros to 0.60 euros. So it decreased like awfully, and that was really difficult for the farmers. So the children, or like the younger generations started getting involved into the business, and they started creating Facebook pages and Line. Line is an application such as WhatsApp to sell mangoes online. So that's the model that they've been working on like lately, as the exports are completely closed. And that's the direct to consumer model. So what the farmers say is that individual consumers are more demanding than their big business counterparts. So it's pretty difficult for them because they cannot just send something that it's going to arrive not in the best like way. Because if someone is buying a mango from Bangkok and they just want, 12 mangoes, they don't expect that mango to arrive a little bit like this. Um, it gives the farmers more pricing power, but they have to do everything in terms of the delivery of it. So they have to pack, they have to like get the boxes and pack in the boxes and deal with the delivery, something that traditionally was done by the middleman. and they don't have much time. I mean, they are harvesting the mango and now they have to do all this process as well. And yeah, that's basically what I read and what I wanted to share with you guys. So it's been pretty difficult for the farmers here in Thailand. Ah, yeah. Also, I thought that mango was the national fruit of Thailand because you can see it everywhere. And they say that it's the best mango. And yeah, they say that everything they do is the best, as everyone. And it's actually not mango, it's mangosteen. So the national fruit in Thailand is mangosteen.
Wow.
But yeah, but mango sticky rice is amazing. And it's crazy, like a dessert, which is like rice pudding with a fruit. It's like, why? Why do you do that? Why don't you just eat the fruit? So yeah, that's mango in Thailand.
Gracias, Ari.
Thank you, Sarah.
Nati, ¿quieres continuar y cerrar?
Nathy, do you want to go next and close?
Okay. So hi, everybody. My name is Natalia. I'm from Medellin, Colombia, and I have lived here most of my life, but 4 years that I lived in Europe for my studies, and then I got married with a French guy, so I was living in France. And when Luna told me about this experience about mango, I was, yes, okay, we've been talking a lot this time and this pandemic worldwide, because when we are away from home, we get some thoughts and some ideas that not everybody can understand. Just the person who have lived outside of the country can briefly understand what you are feeling. So I cannot remember a life without mangoes, actually. Here.
Nati, se cerró tu micrófono.
Nathy, your microphone is closed.
Okay, so sorry. So I was saying that I cannot remember a life without mangoes. Here in Colombia, they are everywhere, and especially in Medellin, they are also part of the urban landscape, and sometimes we even cut them because they are too many and they throw the fruits and people get accidents by sleeping in the fruits in the winter. So yeah, we have them everywhere. And since the first memories of getting out of school and eating mangoes that were more skin and white white seeds that actually mango of the green they were, to all of the places we have been eating mangoes and the different types of mangoes we have here. I just cannot remember one single person that have told me I don't like mangoes, actually. And when I lived outside of Colombia, one of the things that were the hardest for me was doing the groceries and buying the stuff for eating. I was not prepared for the change of the food. I was not prepared. I was briefly prepared for the change of the weather and maybe the effects that it will have in my body, but not in my mind and not in my food. I remember the first time I wanted to buy tomatoes in winter, and my ex-boyfriend back then, he was screaming at me and telling me, you cannot buy tomatoes in winter. You are just contributing to destroy the world, etc. So I got a little more conscious about the things that I was eating at the time and at the time of the year, and thinking of how privileged we are in Colombia to have this amazing weather and this amazing land that you can make grow everything all year long. This mango was really expensive, actually. I'm not living in Medellin. I'm living really near to Medellin, like 30 minutes in a car. It's considered Medellin, but it's a real little ex-rural area. And this mango costed like 50 cents of a euro. That for us is really outrageous for a mango. And it's not even the mango that we consider the mango from here. It's a mango that we call Tommy. And it's good, but it's not the mango that we consider criollo, that comes from here, that is sweeter, that is smaller, than leaves you these little threads of fiber in your teeth. And once I saw the mango and just thinking about all this performance and Luna living in Barcelona, and once I saw this particular color of skin, I just remember that, well, two things came to my mind. One is, even in here, we don't even really know where mangoes come from. Maybe, probably this mango come from Peru, we don't know. In Colombia, you don't have the law to be obliged to tell you where the food you are eating comes from, not even the country. So we actually don't know. And second, that, yeah, we also have seasons and we also have problems with COVID for transportation of the food. So yeah, I think that is, entre guillemets, normal to have these prices of fruits. But it's just that this is a real area that still produces really a huge amount of food. And I was thinking also that it's been a really long time since I ate a mango. And it's because I'm choosing better what I eat. And I'm trying to even making grow my own food in this piece of land that I have now. I'm privileged that way. So yeah, but I still miss it. And the second thought that I have was, back then when I was living in Europe and doing the groceries, that was actually really sad for me because it reminded me home all the time and all the things that I wanted to eat that I couldn't eat. And also it was this sadness of smelling that huge red mango from Peru that didn't smell like anything like this one. Normally, when you smell it, it always came back to my childhood and to my country. And it always reminded me the sadness of being away and being that alone and being that misunderstood all the time. And it was not with mangoes, but it was with a watermelon this size. But I had sort of a panic attack in a supermarket because I wanted to buy that fruit. It was ages that I haven't eaten that fruit. And I just went to the cashier with my watermelon, and it cost like 30 euros or something like that. I started to scream and say, no, this is outrageous. You are just thieves and this is not possible. And I was crying outside of the supermarket. It was awful. But it was just this feeling of not belonging all the time with fruits and with food and with everything. And yeah, afterwards, I just sort of got used to it. I just put this sadness in the back of my mind, and every time I pass for the fruit station in the supermarket, I just smelled the fruit and remember that it didn't smell like anything, so it wasn't really worth it to pay that much for a fruit that it won't be as tasteful as it would be back home. And yeah, keep on with your life. And but I think that remind me, this exercise, that there's some injuries inside of you of being away from home, of being an expat, that even the time cannot cure. I still remember that, and I still get a little bit sad. And I heard Luna reading her words, and I just wanted to cry for all the people who lived or lives outside of this country by choice or by force, and the sadness that comes within. That's it.
Gracias, Nati. Ahora, bueno, espero que todas tengan cerca un mango, un olor a mango, una foto de un mango, una imagen mental de un mango o un recuerdo de un mango.
I hope that now everyone has a smell of a mango, a picture of a mango, a memory of a mango.
Y cerremos los ojos.
And let's close our eyes.
Vamos a hacer 3 respiraciones profundas soltando el aire por la boca.
We're going to do 3 deep breaths. And we're going to take the air through our nose and take it out through our mouth.
Si tienen un pedazo de mango, pónganselo en la boca.
If you have a piece of mango, put it on your mouth.
Manténganlo ahí.
Keep it there.
Saboreenlo.
Taste it.
Recorran su lengua con él.
Cruise it with your tongue.
Deja que te toque todas las cavidades de la boca.
Let it touch all the taste spots in your mouth.
Es dulce.
It's sweet.
Es salado.
Is it salty?
Es duro.
Is it hard?
Es fibroso.
Has a lot of fiber in it?
Se deshace.
Is it melting your mouth?
Mastica.
Chew.
Traga.
Swallow it.
Siente cómo recorre tu cuerpo desde la boca hasta el estómago.
Feel how it goes from your mouth all the way to your stomach.
Piensa en lo que sabes sobre esa fruta que te estás comiendo.
Think about everything you know about that fruit that you're eating.
¿Cuántos mangos son una visa?
How many mangoes are a visa?
¿Cuándo fue la última vez que sembraste una semilla?
When was the last time you planted a seed?
¿Cuándo fue la última vez que viste germinar algo que pudieras comerte?
When was the last time you saw something germinate that you could eat?
Toca el mango.
Touch the mango.
Huélelo.
Smell it.
Estamos juntas.
We're together.
En algún lugar del mundo hay un incendio.
Somewhere in the planet there is a fire.
En algún lugar del mundo de ese incendio va a germinar la vida.
Somewhere in the planet where there is a fire, life will grow back again.
Haz 3 respiraciones profundas.
Take 3 deep breaths.
Toma aire por la nariz, suéltalo por la boca.
Take air through your nose. Then let it out through your mouth.
Abre los ojos.
Open your eyes.
Regresa.
Come back.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Gracias, Luni.
Gracias, Ari.
Thank you, Ari.
Gracias a todos.
Gracias. Gracias, Luni.
Gracias.
Te amo.
A ti.
Gracias.
It's like we just don't want to leave.
Yeah, I actually want to tell my story about my mango. I brought 2 stuff.
Why not?
Please go ahead.
Okay, there's not so much mango left, but I have this. Like when I eat mango or when I eat some kind of fruit that you can peel, I love to peel it in just one line. So I have this straight, the whole skin together. I love to do that also when I peel potatoes and everything. I try to, because I remember the competitions we did when I was a child with my neighbors when we were peeling potatoes. So yeah, and I think mango, it's something that is we take it for granted in Colombia. It's everywhere. And we don't realize that, like with mango or with other kind of fruits, We only realize that when we are far away. It doesn't happen with other stuff, because I mean, I'm lucky that I'm a little bit skilled for cooking. So I never missed arepas or empanadas or ajiacos or things like that, because it's easy to do. I actually did some ajiacos when I was in Argentina, and I replaced some of the ingredients, and I did something called like the migrant ajiaco. And I was working with that project for a long time. But with fruits, it's difficult because you can't prepare a fruit, you have to get it. And actually, the first contact with fruits, I left Colombia like 15 years ago, more or less. And at that time, the exportation of fruits from Colombia was not that big. And actually in Argentina, it was difficult to get even an avocado. Even though when they had avocado trees there, they didn't knew nothing about it. So it was difficult. So every time you went to these Chinese supermarkets and you found juice like this one, yeah. So you get like this feeling of being close home. And it's very special. So I have this story because while I was in Argentina, I was living in this house in La Plata, and the person who I was living with, she had a huge library, and I found a book that at that time I liked it, and now I'm a little bit more critical about it. I don't like the author anymore, but I mean, she is a good writer, and Isabel Allende has. I actually don't remember specifically which book is, but I'm pretty sure it's the Tales of Eva Luna, Los Cuentos de Eva Luna. And it's for those ones who don't know the book, it's something that reminds the 1001 Tales of the Arabian Nights. So it's pretty similar. So this character is telling a lot of stories. So it's like a resemble of that. And in one of those stories, as I remember, it's a kid that breaks in the land of a guy who was kind of a bitter person, and he was climbing these mango trees to steal some of the mangoes because they were delicious, and back in town they were poor, so they didn't have access to that kind of fruit. So while the small boy was stealing the mango, the owner of the land went out of the house and saw it, so he shoot the small boy. The boy fell out of the tree and died. So the people of the town, next day, they just went all together to this land, and they stole all the mangoes, like threatening the guy, the owner of the land, and they start throwing the mangoes to his house until the whole house was buried on mangoes. So from this act of revenge and love at the same time, the only thing that remained was this huge mountain of mangoes that at the end was smelling like mango marmalade or something like that. But the thing is, well, I like this story, but once I was back in Colombia, I went to this small village close to Santa Marta in the mountains, and it was full of mangoes. And it was that many mangoes that they fell all the time, and you had to walk like over a carpet of mangoes all the time. So the whole path was like a carpet of mangoes, and you had the smell, and that smell just reminds me the story of Eva Luna. And that's the story I wanted to tell you. Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Bueno, gracias a todas por estar acá y conectarse y asumir las barreras idiomáticas.
Thank you all for coming together and go online and to waive all the language barriers that we have among ourselves.
Thank you, Luna, so much. Thank you so much for supporting this project. Lisette, thank you for helping. It's really nice you are here. Thank you, Sarah, for sharing your stories. Natalia, thank you for supporting your family. Marcela, thank you for supporting your family. And Beatriz, thank you for joining us. As all the others, yeah, thank you so much for being here every week. And I would love to see you tomorrow for the performance, the following performance with Natasha Goliakowski.
Thank you all. Bye.
You.
Bye, Johannes. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It was really emotional for me.
Thank you so much, Yarines. Oh, look at those
That's really
mangoes.
special. This is my dog. She passed away a few months ago and she ate a lot of mangoes. It was like that mangoes carpet you were talking about in Maracaibo, my hometown. That was the back of my house.
Thank you, Yarines.
Thank you.
Gracias, Fer.
Thank you, Fer.
Thank you, Fer.
Gracias, Luna.